Hello, folks. It's Purple Girl here with Planet Zoo. Bet you thought this was never coming. I bought this game thinking that it was like an updated version of Zoo Tycoon, which it kind of is. It's very similar. The controls are very, very different though, but you're doing basically the same thing. Here I did the first tutorial. I like this little old man. He made me laugh. The lady that kind of helps you through the rest of this seems really nice too for a computer generated person. So there we go. I know I've talked a lot about this channel being like a gaming channel and not just a simming channel, which it is, but I'm also thinking of including maybe like a crafting video every so often. I'm not going to make any sort of promises on how often, but it would be on a different day than the gaming videos. So the gaming videos would still go up on Tuesdays and Fridays. Crafting video might show up on a Wednesday or something. I make a lot of things like jewelry and cards, and I'm getting into pouring resin and things. So it would be nice to kind of include that content on the channel. I don't really want to make a separate channel for doing that. That would be the dog. I'm trying to record this while everybody's outside. They know they're supposed to stay outside, but you know how it goes when you have a bunch of people in your house. I'm hoping this is the last voiceover I'll be doing in the space I'm doing it now. We have like a shed thing out in our backyard that's like my husband's man cave, and he happened to advise that I can do the voiceovers in there. So that'll be helpful. Be able to do them during the day and not just trying to carve out a moment being like, oh, everybody's quiet. So this game is very pretty, and I like the fact that they highlight all of where you need to go during the tutorial. I did try when I first installed this game to play like the sandbox mode, and I really didn't know what was going on. I know a little more now, so probably the next video I do with this, I'll probably just open the sandbox mode and we're just gonna wing it and try to build a good zoo. We'll see how that works. It may work out really well, it may fail. Still trying to figure out the video capture card. It's not really the video capture card that's the problem. It's more of we want to do face cam with the video capture card. So it's kind of like, okay, how do we do this? What programs do I need to make sure everything's running correctly? I know we can run OBS more than one instance, and that's kind of how you do it, but just gotta fiddle with it and figure it out. It's on the list. As I've said many times before, I have kids, I have a full-time job, I make these videos in my spare time. You know, there's not much of that. Especially with all the other hobbies I have. Like, I'm trying to read 100 books this year. Look at that bear. He's all kinds of blocky. See, this is what I meant about the Zoo Tycoon animals looking a little better than these ones. Anyway, trying to trying to read 100 books this year. I'm trying to launch a website to sell all the stuff that I craft, which once that does launch, I will be linking that in the description, at least in the crafting videos. It doesn't really have anything to do with video games. And on top of doing my own things, I'm mom, so there's all that that's required. At least, the kids are all potty trained now, so that's helpful. The little one still needs help wiping her butt, but, that's okay. Other than that, I'm also doing homeschool, which for a while there was seriously stressing me out. I was like, oh my god, I don't know what he needs to learn, what he does know, and we've kind of found our groove now with that, which is good. We do some worksheets, we do a lot of hands-on stuff. Like right now, he's helping his dad measure siding for the shed, so that's helpful. They're going to be building a birdhouse next week, I think, for math and science, because they're going to build a birdhouse out of wood and possibly out of a 2-liter soda bottle and I think a milk jug. And we're going to see which one the birds prefer. I think is how that's going down. So there's that. There's, we're finishing up the school year. We've got about a month, 2 months left of school. And then it'll be like a short summer vacation, which will be nice. Gonna try to get him to read over summer. And then him and his sister will officially be in homeschool next year. Which means be working on trying to get her to actually sit still and do school. She's actually pretty good. She likes to do worksheets and stuff, so we get her like the tracing ones and stuff like that. And seriously, if you can manage to homeschool your kids, if the options are homeschool or virtual school seems horrible. I don't know what your kids look like when they're watching the teacher on the screen, but my son looked like a zombie. He looked like he spends more time interested in YouTube videos than he did what the teacher was talking about. And that's not the teacher's fault. That's just the way this is set up, and then come to find out he wasn't learning much even when he was in person school. He was born early. He was speech delayed, so he kind of struggles a little bit. And the school system's not set up for anyone that struggles. It's just set up, you learn the skill, you move on, and that's not fair to any of these kids at all. I'm sorry, this is supposed to be a fun channel. I don't mean to get all preachy about school. If it works for your child, great. If it doesn't, if you can help them in any way, find any sort of solution, do it. We use education.com, which is from preschool to 5th grade. They have a bunch of worksheets and games and things. I think it's $119 for the whole year. If you can afford that and your child is in that age range, do it. Okay, the games are really fun and they're completely guided lessons. They can do an entire guided lesson in like 2 hours. And they're happy and they're having a good time. If you can't afford something like that, there's a couple of free websites, like Dreamscapes is good for reading. Prodigy is good for math. There is stuff that like you can pay for on those sites, but the site itself is completely free. ABC Mouse, if they're like 2 to 8, is really good too. That does cost money though. In the game, we're just adopting some warthogs. I'm just kind of rambling on. I apologize. If you're not interested in any of this, obviously you're not. You're not, and I apologize. I never quite know what to say in these voiceovers. You'd think I'd be better at it by now, but whatever. Some of these games, like this game, I like playing it, but talking about it, I don't know enough to be like, oh yeah, you click here and you do this and you do that and there you go. Sims, yeah, I know. You click here, you click there, you get pregnant, you have a baby, you move on, Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. You get those people up on those roller coasters and they have a grand old time. Theme Hospital, if I can get this edited. It is so small because that game is so old. It's so small on the screen that I'm trying to edit it so that there's like not just black with like a tiny little picture. Once I get that edited, it'll be good. I think we'll enjoy watching that one. Just because it's so strange. Okay, so in this game right now, we're finishing off the warthog habitat. What I like about the tutorial is a lot of stuff is already done, and you just have to like kind of click and finish. Not everything you don't have to start from fresh. Later on in the video, I don't remember if it's actually in this footage or not, but at some point they ask you to build the habitat. I can't build the habitat to save my life. It's like, no, this isn't lined up right. No. So, I don't know if I left it in there. Hopefully I did. If not, well, I'm sure it'll be in the next one. I don't know. Oh, here we're finishing the habitat, and that's helpful. Do any of you play games? Do you have specific ones that you go back to all the time because you enjoy them? Do you have others that you wish you could play? Like Paperboy for the longest time. I went looking for it. This is gonna sound not weird, but like nostalgic, I guess. That game's very nostalgic for me. When I was little, the doctor and the PT, that's physical therapist, and the occupational therapist told my parents that I should get a game console because it would be good for my hand-eye coordination. And you know what? Made little brother really, really happy because we had an excuse to get the Nintendo that we wanted. We had Atari, which was good, but then we got Nintendo, which was better. Now, everybody's like, oh, the Switch is amazing, and the Switch is amazing. I don't have a Switch. I've seen them. I've seen the gameplay and things, and they are amazing. But the original Nintendo, going from the Atari to the original Nintendo, was awesome. Okay, the graphics weren't great. Definitely not great. But it was awesome. Like, we didn't know any better, you know? We didn't have hyper-realistic video games to compare it to. So it was just like, yes! Nintendo! And then my parents bought me Paperboy. Okay? Up until that point, I died. Constantly. All the time. Couldn't beat anything. Okay? Put the Paperboy in the Nintendo. Started up and took a few tries, but I actually managed to beat my brother. Which, to be fair, he was probably about 6. Okay? But, at the same time, he constantly beat me at everything. And so it was really nice to be able to beat him for once. My husband is like the king of video games, okay? Plays Resident Evil 4, plays all the Resident Evils, to be honest. Like, all this other stuff. And he can't play it either. I think it might honestly just be a little too simple for him. But that's okay. I kicked its butt. I'm sitting there playing for the first time in like 20 years. You know, I haven't seen that game since I was like 12. So I think it got upgraded for the Super Nintendo and then like just dropped off the face of the planet. I kicked its butt, made it all the way to Wednesday. After only playing for like 2 hours. And I was like, yes! Awesome. You know, it makes you very happy when things from your childhood, you're just like, yes, I can beat it. I can go. My middle son was just like, whoa, you beat Dad. Because his dad died in the first 5 minutes and just never opened the game again. And that's okay. He doesn't like it. If he doesn't like it, you know, he's not good at it. And if he's not good at it, he just won't. And that's okay. But I just thought it was funny. I always think things like that are funny. Because, you know, I have cerebral palsy. He doesn't. My kids don't. My oldest has like a touch of ADHD. My middle son has the learning issues. My youngest needed glasses when she was a baby. She doesn't appear to now. But they don't have any real physical disability, I guess. I don't know. Everybody has their own struggles, and you hate seeing your kids struggle no matter what it is anyway. But they're all really good at video games too. So for me to be like, yeah, watch this, and them to be like, oh my, you're actually good at this, it felt really nice, because usually they all kick my butt, except for Sunshine Girl. She's not a big video game person. She likes to paint and craft and play with dolls and all that stereotypical girl stuff. And then she'll go grab her brother's giant RC monster truck and drive it through the mud and laugh. So, you know, they're very different, but they're all very similar in a lot of their attitude. And I think that has to do with sharing parents. Like, you're probably thinking, how the heck do you manage to make these videos and you say you do all this other stuff? That's what happens when you have an actual two-parent household where both parents take care of their kids. And I know that doesn't happen in a lot of households, and I'm sorry if that's how it works out. And I'm, props to all those single parents out there, because I couldn't do it. Heck, my husband leaves for a couple hours. I'm like, oh my god. And that's when the kids get into everything. Mom can't chase them. And Mom doesn't yell. Like, ever. Very, very rarely. It took me an exorbitant amount of time to figure out how to put this shed thing in this spot. I ended up editing out 10 minutes of footage of me fiddling with this shed. Just figured I'd throw that out there. Anyway, this video is got about a minute and a half left. So, I hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope y'all have a good rest of your day. And click like, subscribe, comment a game you'd like to see, something you'd like to watch me make, anything like that. That would be wonderful. I would love a good comment. I hope you all have a good day, and I will see you all next time. Bye.